Right. So good morning, y'all. So today we going to discuss the test number 3 with you. So you can see my screen. I think it's visible. The Alpha company, Alpha Groups carries on business as a manufacturer and distributor of baby care products. B Company is the ultimate parent of the group who holds 70% of the ordinary shares of S and 20% of the ordinary shares of SS. And as whole, 90% of the ordinary shares of SS. This is a what? T-shaped group because we have the parent have direct and indirect ownership, interest towards the its subsidiary. The P acquired its holding on in S on 31st December 2018 when the accumulated profit of that company were 210,000. On the same date, both companies acquired the shares in SS when the balance return earnings stood at 70,000. The group policy to measure NCI at what? Fair value. The fair value of the S at the date of acquisition is 75,000 and SS NCI at the date of acquisition is 85,000. Right? The following summarized statement is given. You can see here it says statements are given. The non-current asset, blah, blah, blah. None of the entities have issued new shares in 31st December 2019. There has been no impairment of goodwill since its acquisition. So this question is tested in a MCQ. That's why it is given a correct answer and distractor. So distractor means the incorrect answer. What is the amount? So we want to prepare this firstly consolidated statement of financial position. So we want to recognize the group structure. This is the I told you this is I think I will share Excel format. Right. I think it is visible. My Excel is visible. The cost of, firstly, we want to identify the parent hold 70% of the its subsidiary. 70% of its subsidiary and subsidiary own but 90% of its subsidiary, 90% of the SS subsidiary, right? Meantime, the parent also, I think I can draw is there. If I'm drawing here, parent hold 10%, 20% is subsidiary. This is the indirect investment. Direct investment. Directly, he owned 20% of its subsidiary. Directly, they own 20% of its subsidiary. If I'm not mistaken, go to the question again. You can see here, 70% of by parent, 20% and 90%, right? So now we want to bother about what is the effective interest in subsidiary. What is the effective interest? Effective interest in SS to the parent. What is the effective interest? 70% into 90% plus what is the answer? 20% because the parent directly own 20%, indirectly own 17 to 90%. Right? That is 83%. And the NCI is what? NCI is 1 minus this set. That is 17%. I think that is clear for you all. That is 17%. Right? Right. Done. Then we can start the consolidation working. Once we recognize the effective holdings and the NCI. So the cost of control in S, firstly, we can fill up the balances. The stated capital opening balances, we can retain earnings, the cost of control in subsidiary, cost of control in subsidiary, the stated capital in S. So we want to prepare the stated capital in S. Here we have S stated capital. Here we have S stated capital, the subsidiary stated capital. We have retained earnings of subsidiary, and the retained earnings of subsidiary, and the consolidated return earning, then NCI. Firstly, I will put the consolidated return earning, retained earning 1.5 million, balance brought forward 1.5 million, right? That is done. And the subsidiary return earning 430,000, 430,000, and subsidiary return earning is what? The subsidiary return earning is, I think, 120,000, right? Opening balances, fill up the opening balances. And the stated capital also, you can see the subsidiaries 420, 100, 420, 100, 420, 420, right? And this is 100, 100, right? With that note, we can we fill up with the right, okay, opening balances. Now we can start. This is a easy question. These type of questions does not test in examination, but can tested in quiz. The investment, the in order to acquire the subsidiary, parent made 650,000 investment. What is the double entry? Cost of control debit, investment account is credit. The investment, right? Investment. After that, since our NCI is given at fair value, so we can take that amount. NCI, subsidiaries NCI is what? 75,000. Cost of control debit, NCI account credit. 75,000. Cost of control debit, NCI account credit, right? What's the double entry? Cost of control S 75,000, right? Same say right. Then now we want to get the return earning. When acquisition, this return earnings is 210,000. What is the double entry? 210,000. 210,000. Retain earnings of subsidiaries debit, cost of control credit. Subsidiary return earning 210,000. Right? Right. Meantime, the since it's saying that the stated capital is not changing, we can recognize 420,000 as it is. The stated capital of S, stated capital of S, 420,000. Stated capital of S, 420,000. So you can debiting that amount into the cost of control account, sorry, crediting, and debit to stated capital of S, right? I think that is clear. Next we have the subsidiaries. Okay, done. Then subsidiaries. So we made a parent made a direct investment 50,000. So you can recognize the investment account credit and cost of control of SS debit 50,000. This is the direct investment. Investment made by the parent, right? Next, we want to recognize the investment made by whom? The subsidiary in order to acquire the subsidiary. That is, you can't take this 120,000 as it is. Out of that, the parent owns subsidiary up to 70%, 120 into 70%, 120 into 70%. The remaining one goes to the NCI is debit. The notional entry is investment account credit 120, cost of control debit 84,000. The remaining 36,000 debit to the NCI shareholders, right? 120,000 minus, sorry, here dollar equals 20,000 minus what is the amount? 84,000 remaining 36,000, that is investment account, right? In NCI debit and investment account is credit, right? I think that is clear. That is done. Then you want to recognize the retained earnings balances, sorry, at the acquisition date, 70,000. SS retained earnings 70,000. You can recognize that one, 70,000, the retained earning of subsidiary. So debit to the retained earnings of subsidiary 70,000. Right, that also done. Stated capital, stated capital, stated capital 100,000. Here you can debit to the 100,000. Right, right. That is done. I think that is over. Now we want to recognize what? The goodwill arising from business combination. Here you can see the total amount. Goodwill is 95,000, right? This is goodwill. Goodwill on business combination. Here you can see in SS subsidiaries. Shh, 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 shh. Sorry, I could be able to take the NCI here. The NCI of subsidiary, subsidiary, NCI. At the date of acquisition, the fair value is given 75,000, sorry, 85,000, right? Here it is given 85,000. NCA account is credit 85,000 in subsidiary, right? 85,000, right? So now it is okay. Now we can get the summation. 49,000, that is the goodwill. Goodwill, right? Done. Then this accounts we know to distribute. This account is done, clear, because all are okay now. This account also done. But return earning, so the subsidiary return earning should go to be distribute among the consolidated return earning, group return earning, or the consolidated return earning, group return earning. What is the amount? This minus this into 70%, right? Remaining balance goes to 66,000, 30%. It means goes to NCI, right? NCI 66,000, return earning of S, right? And oh my god, I got a hole. Return earning of S, and remaining is goes to who? This goes to group return earning 154,000, right? Return earning of S, earning of subsidiary, right? Then we have this one, but keep remember, you can't recognize that is in the directly into the effective holding is what? Into effective holding percentage 83%. That is 41,500. That is consolidated return earning. Consolidated return earning. Consolidated return earning should be debit, credit by return earning of subsidiary, right? Here this amount, and the remaining goes to the NCI. NCI remaining is 8,500. 8,500. Retain earning of subsidiary 8,500, right? Done. Now these two accounts also done and dusted. So I'm not going to balance because we don't have such time. Hmm, okay. Next, we have to balance the NCI and consolidated return earning count. Taking the consolidated return earning, this amount, the consolidated return earning. Yeah, that is the correct answer. 1,695,500. And here NCI count, what is the answer? Right, right, done. Now we can fill up the balances, the line by non-current asset, line by line addition basis. Here, write it NCA, non-current asset, just line by line addition. We have 1.4 million, 1.4, 730, 720, sorry, 2020, right? 730,000, 220,000, right? And the goodwill on business combination. So we have goodwill. What is the goodwill? So we have a goodwill here 95,000 plus 49,000. 144,000. That is the total assets. So we can balances that amount. This is the total assets amount. Total assets amount. And we have equity and liabilities. Equity and liabilities. We can put here. Equity and liabilities. Here the investment done. Share capital 600,000. The parent portion only we are recognizing. The stated capital, parent portion. And we have what? The consolidated return earning. What is the balance? Can take this amount. And the NCI amount, non-controlling interest, is this much. And altogether we have, that is tally, right? Total liabilities and equity, total equity and liabilities. Uh, so that is the end of this question. This is the examiner's requirement, right? Right. So if I'm going through with you, it asking the first question is what is the amount appearing in the NCA? 2,350,000. That is correct. Here you can see here, right? Secondly, it asking calculate the goodwill 144,000, right? It is there. That is correct. Nextly, it is asking what is the amount of appear in the share capital, that is a parent portion 600,000. That is no need to even calculate, right? What is the consolidated return earning? 1,695,500 millions. That is there. What is the NCI? 195, 98,500. That is there. That is the end of this question. Thank you.